Hi, and welcome to Matcha with Murad, where I, Murad, talk to other creatives about their process, what drives them to make their art, and anything else we find interesting along the way. So join me here every week for a new and inspiring story, and sometimes a quick heart-to-heart from yours truly. You are listening to Matcha with Murad. In this episode, we talk to Lillian Elliott, who is an influencer, YouTuber, executive assistant, personal assistant, project manager, household manager, and overall just a bad bitch. So please help me welcome to the show, Lillian Elliott. Okay, I love that we're doing this because you're the only other person I've had on my show that actually gets matcha. So let's talk about this. So the reason why I do military lattes in the morning is because...
What is that, first of all?
So it's the green and brown, right? So it's the brown coffee on the bottom and the green froth.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to Sawada in Chicago that was in the West Loop across from Soho House?
Yeah.
They're the ones that I think trademarked it, the military latte, or they were the ones doing it in Chicago, but so good. But the reason why I do it is because there is a chemical in green tea that is not in coffee that actually keeps your anxiety down. So that's why, so that's why it's everyone's like, well, aren't you super over caffeinated if you do your Nespresso and your matcha? And I'm like, no, it actually calms me down.
People will literally make a pot of coffee and drink that
All day. Yeah.
Fine having a coffee with the green tea on it. And like you said, cancels each other out, basically.
And I've switched to, I do half calf for the first thing in the morning, and then I do decaf if I have another one, but I usually just do a matcha or I got my little tea kettle out. I guess the microphone's right here. I should be talking this way. I got my little tea kettle out, and I've been doing dandelion tea for my mid-afternoon, or a lemon balm tea. So I'm still on my tea game.
No, honestly, for me, it's it's the act of making, the routine of making a coffee, making a tea, more than
yes,
oh, I need caffeine or whatever. It's just this moment I can have with myself in the morning or in the afternoon when I just need to be grounded. That's why I got this coffee.
Yes, I love that tattoo.
Oh, of course I love coffee or whatever, or tea, but it's such a self-care routine for me, and it grounds me, and it's something constant that's every day. And this tattoo, I remind myself of that, and it's super cringy, but it makes sense to me.
Okay, so that is the whole point of this podcast, and that's why it's called Matcha with Murad, is because it's about your creative process. And when I was thinking about my creative process, I was like, I have to have a matcha or a coffee or something, but it's usually matcha. And that is just a part of my grounding routine. There's something to me about making it, but then also just sitting and starting to be creative and then just sipping a warm beverage that's just hits right. And that's why I'm I can go decaf, I can go half calf. It's not about the caffeine, it's about the feeling. I love it so much. This is the one I'm using today. I just changed. I've been trying to mention the brands that I use. So this is called Jade Leaf, and it's just their ceremonial grade. But I got it. I was researching best little. I don't know why I'm doing this. My
Come on, influencer.
my laptop webcam is just focus in on it, but it's just, I love the ones that come in these little things for if I'm on the go.
I love those too, because you don't have to pull out your measuring spoon or whatever. Wait, what does it say on the back? It says cold brew.
Yeah, it can be used. It says hot brew, whisk with 2 ounces of cool water, then add 4 to 10 ounces of hot milk or water. And then for cold brew, it says shake with 2 ounces of cold water, then add 8 to 12.
See, I want to do that because I hate when I pour the hot. I literally this morning put it in the fridge for a little bit, but I hate when I pour the hot on top and then it's it gets watery because it's so hot. Because I really only make ice.
Well, I was researching it, and there was a brand that I really want to use. I think it's called Breakaway or something like that, and they're the bougie brand. And they have, those beautiful tea kettles everyone's buying that I want so bad, that's by Fellow Products or whatever, and they look so sleek. You would know what I'm talking about if you saw it. But they have one that they saw on their website, and they're you should buy this because you should never use boiling water with matcha. You should there's a very specific temperature, I guess.
Oh my God, I know my boss. I was staying at their apartment, and they have that kettle where you know, like he was telling me, like, this is the temp you do for her husband. This is the temp you do for Americano. This is the temp you do for a tea. This is the temp, and like it says it under like black tea. This is the temp. Green tea. This is temp. I was like, fuck me. Like I have this smeg, like, because it's like cute as hell. Like all my
They're
appliances.
so cute.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm like, I don't have that option.
When are you gonna do a room tour or apartment
I
tour?
know it's the problem is I have no art. And so like
Mm,
I just feel like it doesn't look like a home yet because I don't have art, but like that's like the hardest thing to get. It's like
yeah.
find something I'm not gonna find something at like fucking Home Goods.
Yeah, I feel that I'm not that's like a lot of the options we have here is like home goods, at home store, all that stuff. Like my mom has a print of a cow down here and I'm just like
Well, the
it's
thing is,
not
we have really cute. Like I live in a very like artsy neighborhood, and we have a bunch of like vintage shops, but they're so expensive.
yeah. There's there's things you could do like you could just order the prints online and then frame it yourself from like the thrift store or you could do like I've made some of my own art and it's kind of
I
fun.
saw, like some people on TikTok or whatever, there it was like an art piece. It was literally like 3 lines, and they're like, it was $1,000. So they're like, bet.
And they make it themselves.
Like it literally just looks like they like spilled paint on the thing, but it looks really good.
Mhm. Yeah, I was like painting last summer a lot, so I was like, I guess I'll just make my own. I'll show you the one I made. Like, I'll send you a picture of it because it's actually kind of cool.
Well, I love that for you.
But also, I just made a really cool looking vision board
Ooh,
and I made a YouTube video for it. And I just finished editing it yesterday, so I'm going to post it
when's it going up? I'm gonna watch. I
probably
have
today.
really make my coffee or my matcha or whatever, and then I put all the YouTube videos, like like all the subscriptions
Oh
they
my
come,
God. Yeah.
and I check my emails, and it's like my favorite part of the day.
That's exactly what I do. Like, I can't make my coffee or matcha and not watch YouTube. It's
No,
just not.
it
It's
always
just,
has to be like in the background too.
I know. I'm trying to stop doing that actually. Like, I'm really trying to like have more silence or like just like mindless music on instead of like YouTube.
Me be with my own thoughts. No thanks.
I know. It's so hard, but I'm trying because I've noticed I'm way more productive if I don't have like a distraction going on. So tell me about how you, because we've been friends for a long time and I feel like the influencer thing was always there for you. But
Yeah.
like, how did you fully decide? Was it just like, I'm out of breath now. Was it just like you trial and error and realizing it's something you really liked, or was it something you always knew?
It kind of got closer to when I was graduating, and I was like, okay, it's everyone's applying to jobs, and you knew like I majored in music, but it wasn't like something that I could see myself doing forever. And
Hmm.
I had to think, what is something that like I would want to do forever? And I just thought like I love making content, but like I love connecting with people, and I love like having like something to say, I guess. So the more and more I just started like posting my life, and I was getting feedback from people, and especially like younger girls who were like, wow, like seeing your posts, or seeing you live your life like unapologetically made me, go to this pool party and wear a bikini, or, like go outside my comfort zones, or like, not shy away from like a dance or some shit like that, because I see you and you inspire me or whatever. And I was like, wow, like that feeling of like making a difference just to like a few people, like felt incredible. And I was like, I need to keep doing this. And so after college, I just started to do it like more and more. But it really wasn't to the point where because I put so much stress on myself, like, oh, I need to make money from this. I have to have like the best feed and look the best. And then I was shying away from like, that's not why I started my page. It's like not about, it being a stream of income. It's not about like looking the best. That goes like completely against what my like brand is. So I had to literally like sit down, write what is the purpose of my page, what do I want to come across, what are the feelings I want you to get when you like look and you see like my brand. And I would, when I shied away from like thinking about making money or whatever, and just thought about it as like a creative, like something, a creative outlet for me to do, and to do it for fun and the right reasons, is like ironically when I started partnering with brands and blah blah blah. Like the more I got
Hmm.
like transparent with not only myself but like my following, and just was like intuitive of like who I am, is when the brands like started coming.
So it's like when it became more of an effortless thing for you.
Yeah.
And that's so hard. It's so hard to make like social media fun. So it's like incredible that you were able to do that.
No, and the thing is, you can't stress yourself about it because algorithms are changing, and like the things are constantly changing, and more platforms are coming like TikTok and whatever, and you just cannot like get too engulfed in it, which is why it's just something like I do for fun, and why like when I post a photo or when I post a video, like I'm not, scrolling or like, liking a bunch of photos or commenting on photos, like heart emojis, or just like spamming to get engagement.
Mhm.
I go away because you know what? At the end of the day, if I look at it and I'm like, I'm happy with this, and like a few people saw it that I know they're gonna like it, then it's like whatever.
Yeah, it's like it's more just for your own soul now. It's not for, I guess, recognition from others, you
Yeah, there
know.
was like a point where I was just not like, I recently like started over and like archived all my posts because I noticed I was posting things that like I knew would perform well, and I was posting things that like I knew like brands liked, and I was like, but I really didn't like it, and I was like,
Mm,
it's not really like what I want to be posting. So now I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna post whatever I want. And
right.
the thing is, I don't rely on social media for income. It's literally just like something like passive, or it's just something that it's like nice if I like make a few $100 here and there, but it's not something I rely on, which is nice because then I don't have to stress about like, you know, I need
Yeah.
a lingerie pic, or I need
Right.
like this long overrun caption about body positivity.
It kind of takes that pressure away from you
Yeah,
and makes it something you can enjoy more because you're not depending on it for money.
I literally work so much, and I like being an EA, PA, like I'm in charge of so many people's lives, and I'm constantly trying to make like their life smooth and the best, and like their dreams come true. And it's just like I need that like thing that's for me that just like makes me happy. And so that's why I'm like, I just love like making YouTube videos and silly TikToks and cute photos or whatever. I am like going away from Instagram. I think
Hmm.
people are.
You're seeing a lot of success on TikTok.
Yeah. Well, TikTok, it's just like organic. It's not like, it's just you. And like, also, I think there's a lot of young people on TikTok.
Hmm.
I think they like resonate with my content because they're like, wow, like look at this, like plus size woman, like black woman, just being herself, like not
Hmm.
covering up. And I think it really speaks to them. But
Hmm.
yeah, I really, really like TikTok. I just think it's so fun.
It's almost like there's just a lot more positivity on TikTok in general for everyone. Just it's like if you want to be hyped up for being yourself and being proud of it, TikTok is the place because
Yeah.
it's like they're gonna
It's
support
very
everyone.
empowering, and it's like
Yeah.
you get the trolls or whatever, but that's everywhere, and it's just like, at least for me, TikTok, it's not like all that, like it's not the best. Like Instagram, you're seeing the best of everyone's life.
Hmm.
TikTok, I could be on there. Like I made a video the other day. Like I know a lot of people come to me for body confidence, but I'm having a really bad body day, and I could just like be honest, like on the platform, and like speak on that.
I
And
love that.
it's like you can't let your guard down. Like
Instagram's like you have to act like your life's perfect at all times.
no,
Like how
you
dare you?
not catch you slipping, because the thing is, if you put a photo out there with no makeup or slouching or whatever, it's like it gets ignored because the feed doesn't even prioritize it. They see
Right.
it as like, oh, this is like something someone put effort into, I'm not going to show it to your following, and they already don't show my photos to anybody.
Oh,
Like
my is like
followers.
the amount that they show to people is so sad. And you
It's
have like 17K followers and they probably I think you told me
no,
they only show it to like 1 or 2K.
no, no, no. They literally showed my. Okay, let's look, shall we? Posted yesterday. I posted a photo yesterday. I was working with this brand. Really, really dope bodysuits. You guys should check them out.
What's the name of it?
They're called Pinsy shapewear. So it's like bodysuits that are like mesh with shapewear, but it does not feel like shapewear at all. Like it was like the most comfortable bodysuit ever.
I saw this photo. This photo was bomb. It was like a tan bodysuit and it
Yeah,
was like a upward angle.
I put band-aids on my nipples.
I don't blame you.
They showed it to 1,238 people.
So what even percentage is that of your following? That's ridiculous. That's such a small percentage.
It's been so frustrating because it's like I've grown my page by myself. No, no foreplay. Like no things involved. Like I did that on my own, and I worked hard to build that following. And it's like they don't show it to people. That's why I just have been like off Instagram. Like I'll post a few
Mhm.
here and there, but it's just like I don't even fucks with it
It's
because
almost like it could just be your portfolio to show where your work is, but then the real you is like TikTok and this and that, you
yeah,
know?
and I'm trying to get back onto YouTube and like vlogging and stuff because I love that too.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, it's constantly change. That's what I'm saying. Like things are constantly changing, which is why it could be scary, like the full time influencers and stuff. Because like, I mean, if my pages all got deleted tomorrow, like I would be fine. Like it
Yeah.
wouldn't rely on that stuff, and it's just like, I mean, they're constantly censoring too, so people's pages do get deleted, or the algorithm changes. Like if this were my main stream of income, and it's like this algorithm changed, and my posts aren't getting shown to anybody, I lose brand partnerships. Like that's stressful.
That is
I mean,
so stressful.
that's how it is in every job. Like you never know, like things could change, but oof, that's why you get that money, girl, because you never know.
Yes. And that's the thing. It's like YouTube, I feel, is way more like strong. Like you can count on it, I guess, a lot more. And I'd say TikTok is really new, but so far, like so much more encouraging. And so I agree. Like Instagram is the oddball where it's like, I don't know what's going to happen.
So,
And I wonder if that has to do with like, I don't know. I'm like, I wonder if that has to do with Facebook. And because obviously it's owned by Facebook.
100%.
Yeah.
As
So,
soon as Facebook bought Instagram, it went downhill.
yeah.
It became a stream of revenue for them. And so you posting a photo, it blowing up, you making some money from like people using your discount codes or whatever, or you getting paid from that brand, that they're not involved in that.
Hmm.
Oh, they're like, how do I get in? So now they literally hide your post so that you are so frustrated. You're working with these brands, you pay to promote your own post to your own following. Imagine paying to have to literally show your post to your following that you obtained. So now they do that. And it's just now they added this whole, thing where you can work with Instagram to sell and get it's just
Shop.
shopping. It's a
Yeah.
shopping app. That's what it is. It's a shopping app, and it's like it's not an app where you're building a brand anymore or having a voice. It's an app where you're trying to sell. They're trying to have you sell things, and it's like, no, I'm not really interested. And yeah,
I think that's actually I did a social media panel a while ago, and one of the women I asked her a question about paid promotions. I was like, "Do you do that? Like, is that something you guys do?" And she goes, "Don't ever do that because then that app knows that you will pay,
right.
and then they'll make your views lower so that you feel like you have to pay again, and then maybe you have to pay a little bit more." And I was like, mind blown.
I know.
I never even thought of it like that.
It's just so grimy too, because it's like it's supposed to be a platform like YouTube and TikTok where it's like creators can just create content, and connect with people all around the world. And now it's like, no, it's like if you're not selling something, or if you're
Get
not
out. Yeah.
half naked on the feed, then not interested. We're not showing it.
Mm. That is so true. Okay, so what is your creative process with curating content? Like, do you feel like you have a process? Because I feel like you kind of have to some extent, especially when I see how consistent you are. You're
Yeah.
so consistent.
Um. Well, it depends, like what platform it is. Do you have one in mind, or are you just in general?
In general, like because, not only like how do you juggle all the platforms too and keep that process going?
Yeah. So what I kind of like think about, I'm a list person, as you know, I'm a Virgo through and through.
Mhm.
You make like list on each platform, like what do I want to show? But then I've been really trying to link that to what's the purpose of this, or what's, my, what do I want to come out of this?
Mm.
So, even just posting like little videos of me in a swimsuit, it could come off of like, oh, she's just like showing her body. And it's like, no, like I'm showing this so people can see like there's nothing wrong with having stretch marks and cellulite and rolls or whatever. Or there's videos I make where it's like little daily vlogs or whatever. And it's like, I'm just a black woman and her 24 years old, like just trying to like find out who I am, what I'm put on this earth for. And I know like, and I'm not trying to like bullshit it. But I would say my creative process is writing a list, going through that list, seeing, when I want to make it. I always have some type of drink beveragina with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just set up. I usually put my phone away. Well, I need to use my phone. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And I set up little moments. So I'll set up a moment in my apartment. I'll rearrange furniture. I'll set up a moment like on the roof of my apartment. Sometimes I take my tripod and I drive around and I find like little pockets of like this would be a fun like place to create content. And then
Mm.
I make the content and then I come home, have my beverage, and I edit the content. And, it's hard too because there's like a fine line of like wanting to enjoy an experience completely and also wanting to get content, like when I'm on little trips or if I'm at like a dinner or a concert or whatever. And you're like, I want to just be in the moment, but then it's like I also want to get content. So it's like trying to find that fine line. So it's like I'll try to get the content like when I was in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
I get the content, but I don't force it. It's not like if I'm like, well, I was with my friend Nina, like if we're having like an intimate conversation, like there's no need to pull out my vlog camera.
No, no, yeah.
But it's like if I'm, getting dressed or we're at a cute coffee shop, like I can get that content. But my process, it changes because I get content everywhere. So it's like sometimes it's planned, sometimes it's like I'm having a shit day and I want to talk to the camera. Or, sometimes it's like, yesterday when I got sent that bodysuit in the mail and I was like, I feel really sexy and confident in this and I want to share it.
Mm-hmm. So some of it's just kind of like that spark that you get when you get inspired to create something, and then others is a little more planned out and you have to like
Yeah.
actually
Like,
schedule a time.
yeah, usually TikTok, it's more like not scheduled in the moment. I just want to like capture content, and YouTube, it's definitely planned because
Mm-hmm.
it'll be a video, and it's
That
like,
you have to, yeah.
yeah, what do I want to capture in that video? But also on YouTube, I'm kind of like going more towards the vlogs, like daily vlogs. Like I just like to see, like I like to see routines. Like I'm a huge routine and ritual person. So that's what YouTube is for me. So that even even though I might be like, oh, I'm planning out doing a weekend vlog or a vacation vlog, in the moment, it's like I'm not planning, oh, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna go here. It's like just organic because one thing I always want my content to be is organic,
Mm-hmm.
which is why Instagram is getting a little too much for me because just like doing the poses and stuff, it's like, when I was younger, I was like, I just love like flossing and on the gram and like looking hot and, in a cute fit or whatever. And now I'm just like, I really don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I think of us on like college Instagram versus now. It has changed a lot. But I like your approach. I like me and you are very similar with YouTube. Like we've always watched similar things and stuff. So I totally understand what you're saying there. And I'm excited. You just posted another vlog, right, in Cleveland?
Yeah, I just did like a little Cleveland vlog. I'm actually thinking about like making the investment. It's hard to, I'm sure like content creation, having a brand, you have to invest and you don't always know like what the ROI is going to be and you just
Yes.
have to go with it. And so, you know, I want to get Final Cut Pro.
Mm.
That is expensive. And it's like, I'm just like, I think I have like 1,600 subscribers, like not anything crazy. And so I'm like, I need to invest in myself and get that and get like the nice tripod and stuff. But it's also like am I going to have a return in that? But also
Right.
being like, if I don't, it's okay because this is something I need to do for like, I'm a creative person. Like we went to art school.
Yes.
I have to have like some type of like thing that's creative that I do and not
Your
just,
outlet.
yeah, I need an outlet.
Well, I will say, I've noticed, and I use Adobe Premiere, and
Hmm.
I've noticed a lot more people using it. And they offer, this will probably change your life right here and now, because they offer a $15 a month. Yeah.
Really?
Well, they offer $40 a month, but if you just do Adobe, I think it's 30, but I used our school email and it worked. So, if you still have any access to that, you
Oh
could
my
do that.
God. Oh,
But still, even that, it's like, what'd you say?
I don't remember my email.
Yeah.
But
What? It's just your first name dot your last name at loop.colum.edu.
can you log into it?
Yeah, I've been using mine like still.
I'm screaming. It's okay. You know what? Right off.
That's what I'm saying. But also, like, it's just it's nice to have it more, even if you want to use it while you're saving up for Final Cut Pro, or just like saving up for the program in general. At least you have it, and at least it's not like you buying the whole thing right away, you know. So it's kind of nice. But
Okay,
yeah,
I'll look into it because if it's just so time consuming, and then it's like then you have your passion projects, which are like what you want your life's work to be, and it's like hard to work a 9 to 5 job and then come home and like the whole problem with grind culture now, it's like there's so much pressure on you, like
yeah.
people expect you to wake up 5 a.m. every day, get a 5K in, then go work your corporate job, then come home and work on your passion project, and then come up with all these different streams of income and then do it all again. And like you're gonna have burnout, but there's so much pressure. Like even my mom, I was like, girl, she was like, you need to create something, you need to do something like pop off with something or whatever and blah blah blah. And it's like just so much pressure.
All the time. And now there's a trend on YouTube and stuff about resting. Like now, I don't know if you've seen a lot of those videos, but now it's like about burnout and about like how toxic productivity can be. And so that's kind of nice, but I just hate that everything has to come in trends. It just bothers me. I don't know why. Like, I like since high school was so into like the attraction theory and just positive thinking and building your own like idea for life and believing in yourself and blah blah blah. And now it's like such a huge trend on YouTube to like manifest your destiny. And I'm
I
like,
know.
ugh.
Everyone in this freaking manifestation.
I'm
Which
like, God, why'd you gotta ruin a good thing?
we have always been about since college.
Mm-hmm.
We've always been on that wave.
Always.
And it's good that people are now like getting to that, but it's like sometimes it just feels kind of grimy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm all for like more consciousness, more mindfulness, more manifesting and being positive. Like, you can only get good out of that. But I guess my thing is like, why are you doing it? Are you doing it because everyone else just did and you can make money off of this video? Are you doing it because you genuinely care? So I don't know how we got on that topic.
Everyone trying to be obsessed with like going viral, and like
Mm,
people go viral with something like extremely crazy or something where it's like they've hopped on a trend,
mm-hmm.
like all these trends that it's just like exhausting.
It's exhausting. Yeah. And I'm sure you get the worst of it. Like just being in the industry can be kind of tricky sometimes, for sure.
No, 100%, and it can be exhausting.
But that's why I think it's so great that you took that turn on having like that sit down moment with yourself where you really rebranded and you were like, what is my message? Like, would you say you have a specific message that from doing that you want people to know across all platforms of you?
I just want to, like, as simple as it is, I just literally want to inspire women to live their best and most authentic lives. That's really what it is.
Yeah. I think that's strong though.
Yeah, that's what it is. And it's, it's exhausting to keep up with the platforms, like I said. So now it's just like I'm, creating content, 75% that it's like I just really, really love, and 25% that I'm like, I know this would speak to my following.
Right. And
But
you
it's
also
like
do.
having to like, because there was a time where like I relied on Instagram for income, And now like that I'm fine financially, it's just nice to like not have to like have that pressure.
It gives you more creative freedom.
Yeah, for sure.
You do a really good job talking about social issues on your pages too. Like I know when the Black Lives Matter movement was happening, you were on it. And it was
Yeah.
like so inspiring to see. And so I love that you do that with your page.
These are your times when you're an influencer or whatever that you have to speak out. This is the whole point of your platform. What is the point of having a platform if you're not going to use your voice? Obviously, Black Lives Matter speaks to me. So I have to say something. I can't just
Hmm.
like sit back and, or with the election and getting people to vote. And I'm actually working with the Michigan Health Department on, spreading the word about getting vaccinated,
Mm.
the next partnership I'm doing. And it's like you cannot just have this platform and your whole being to be either to make money or to get people to buy things.
Right.
Like,
You have to have some goodness in it.
yeah, you have to have some things that are like mean something, that like when you leave this earth can be like, I inspired people to get out and use their voice. I inspired people to get out and vote in one of the most important elections we've had in our history. I've inspired people to go get vaccinated and save their grandma's lives and their friends' lives and whatever. Like, what can you say that you have done besides inspiring someone to go buy a freaking kit?
Weight loss tea or something.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
So
God.
is that your like new message that you've been spreading lately is the vaccinations?
Well, I was just going through my email before we got on, and the Michigan Health Department reached out to me and they wanted to work together. And I was like, yes, like these are the more things that I've been taking, like partnership wise. I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, I would love to spread the word. Like,
That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. You've like had such a positive shift, I feel like with like it's just such a positive part of your life now where I feel like as before it might have been a little bit harder to
yeah,
find
because
that balance.
I didn't know like who like I was. Like, obviously everybody knows in the early 20s, like we're all a fucking mess. Like,
Mm. Oh,
nobody knows what
yes.
we want to do. Everybody's changing their mind constantly. We're constantly comparing ourselves to other people who are like buying homes and like homes
Mm.
girl, and like it's hard. And once you get more in tune with who you are, the more authentic the content is. So it just like resonates with more people.
Right, exactly. I agree with that completely. Would you say that that's still your biggest challenge right now is still comparing yourself to others through the page? Or what would you say your biggest creative challenge or just challenge in general with being a content creator and influencer is?
So there's two things. There's one, I'm constantly afraid of being like stagnant with my content. Like, I don't want to come off as preachy ever, and I also don't want to like with Instagram, which is why I have my most frustrations with that app.
Clearly,
Yes.
as we
And
all
I
do.
feel like sometimes I like get I get too engulfed in myself, and I will literally tear myself down. Like, I can be very honest about that. I will look at a photo and it's like I will zoom in, and an insecurity I like never had before. I'm like staring at it too long, or especially when it's like before Facebook bought Instagram, my posts were like blowing up. Like, I would get thousands of likes on every photo, and then to go from that to like I'm lucky if I get 300 likes on a photo. And it's like it's hard not to let it affect your self-esteem, but then it's like you can't. One, you can't, let other people's like opinions of you matter, or because they like the photo or not, like determine your self-worth. But it'll just be like an exhausting process. So, not tearing myself down, and also not comparing myself to others, because Instagram, you see, like we said before, the best of everybody's life. So it's like I see this girl who's also 24 and just bought her first home, and
Mm.
it's like I'm still renting, and it's hard to like get out of it. So
So hard. And especially because like everybody feels like this in their 20s, right? But at the same time, we're living in a world that's different than our parents were living in it in our 20s. So
oh my god,
it's
my
like
parents,
comparison on steroids. It really is.
and you just can't, because you don't know anybody's story. And it's so funny because I'll talk to people and I'll be like, oh my god, like like I meet a lot of people on Instagram, which is like my favorite place to meet friends because obviously like you see, you know, that you guys have all these things in common, similar aesthetics, like all these things. It's like a great meeting friends app. And I've, met up with them and I'll be like, oh my God, this looks so good. And then they tell me the backstory of it or, what else they're dealing with. Or you'll envy something about them and they'll be like, well, I really envy like that you have this. And it's like, that's why you just can't, like, everybody is envious of something. And it's just like, also, everybody has their own ish that you don't see behind these photos. It's crazy.
So true. Everybody wants what they don't have.
I obviously won't say who it is, but like just an example, I was getting lunch with a friend who is from Instagram, and I was like, she posted this incredible photo, amazing lighting, like, and she was decked out in like Louis Vuitton and like all these things. And I was like, you just are so fabulous. And she was like, well, let me tell you, I took this photo, I posted it, but I didn't eat for 2 days after posting that photo because she overanalyzed it and zoomed in, saw imperfections, quote unquote, and she literally did not eat for 2 days after posting that photo. And it's like, we don't see that. I just saw that she got like 10,000 likes on a photo that she looked incredible in.
Right. The toxicity of social media is so bad. Like, she's probably such a pure soul. And then, she gets hit with the same thing we all get hit with. It's just that self-doubt that creeps in every 5 seconds in your 20s and I hope goes away in your 30s, but who knows?
We've always said that we're going to be so 30 and thriving.
30
Like,
and thriving.
city.
Everybody that I talk to in their 30s is like, I've never felt more confident.
Yeah, well, most of all, because my boss is in her 30s and I hang out with all my friends and stuff. And they are just like, don't even worry about it. You could literally wake up tomorrow and be like, I want to be a chemist. And it's like, you have time.
You always have time, unless you're, 90, but
This is the time where we don't have any kids yet. We don't have any spouses yet. I don't have a mortgage yet. Like we have the flexibility to, make a bunch of mistakes as we
it's so
should.
nice. It's so nice to know that.
And try everything out. Go, if Lily, she makes music and she was talking to her mentor and she was like, I don't know if I want to like stay in construction or property management, real estate. I don't know if I want to make music. Her mentor's like, do it all. Literally do it all. Try it all out because this is the time to. Like we're never gonna have like probably like less responsibilities than we do right now.
We won't. It'll keep building. Mm-hmm. So it's really nice to know like right now is actually the time given to us to figure it out and not rush it. Like just the more you rush it, the more you push productivity, you're going to be, I guess the more unhappy you're going to be. If you can let yourself actually be a little bit comfortable in this weird state, then you're more free to find something that you might not have found before, which I think is really special.
It's a trial and error period.
Mm-hmm.
You're not married to anything.
Right.
Like, you don't have to be like, okay, even when I was working that corporate job in Chicago that I freaking hated.
Oh my God. That was like what, 2 weeks or something?
Literally 2 months, such a mess.
Oh my God, I love it.
But you're just not married to anything. Like I look back at that and I'm like, exactly. Like I literally quit my job. I moved to Chicago. I got a corporate job, worked there for 2 months, hated it, moved back. And it's like, I can do all those things.
Mm-hmm. You're free to do whatever you want. Yeah. Exactly. So how do you think being an executive assistant, personal assistant, project manager, how do you think that has shaped you? Because you've done this for what, 3 years now, almost? Like pretty.
Yeah. I literally, the day that we graduated, I moved home. The week after graduation, I started my job the first day I got back.
Incredible. So how do you think this has shaped you as like your own businesswoman and like,
because I learned from the best. Like my boss, Nia, she is an incredible woman. She literally does it all. The reason why I met her is senior year in college, I was in a self project management and freelancing class. And they like my project, I had to find somebody that like this is like who I want to be. And so I reached out to her because, you know, my I had a friend who was telling me about her. And literally I was just like, you're amazing, like all the things she does. I interviewed her, and at the end of the interview she was like, do you have a job after college, because I'm looking for an assistant. And but she this job is so great because I shadow from her. Like she's my mentor, and it's like she is exactly like me in the sense that she does so many things. She works in art, she works in music, she works in film, she works for a financial firm, you know, she works in marketing. And it's like that's how I want to be, because I just cannot pinpoint myself and be like, "Oh, I want to work in this." Like I need to have my hands in all the pots.
Mhm.
I'm creative in so many different ways. And so it's like, it's so nice to watch her. And she has shaped me into the person I am because I see what a bad bitch she is. And it's like, I've learned how to communicate with people. I've learned how to make connections. I've learned how to network. I've learned, you know, how to stand up for myself, especially like also so we one of her businesses is also a diversity and inclusion firm. And, you know, I've learned how to like stand up for myself and I've learned how to set boundaries. And it's like I've learned all these things from her, which is why I've loved this job. And I could not recommend being an EA, PA, whatever, to somebody you aspire to be, because you're literally in training to be that person, you know?
Yeah. You couldn't be in a more perfect setup, honestly.
Yeah.
For what you it's crazy. Like it's like you decided you wanted to be this in college, right? And then you found her. And
Yeah.
then it just worked, and like it's been years, but it's been building you into this like
Yeah. And I've
incredible.
literally like, I've met some amazing people. I've, you know, I've been a part of incredible, like, I was a part of the, like, you know, T-Mobile Super Bowl campaign.
Mhm.
And, you know, I've like done really freaking cool things. And it's just so crazy because it's like it's fun for me because I get to wear all these hats. Like I get to like put on my corporate side when we're dealing with a financial firm. Then when we're dealing with the artist residency in Detroit, it's so fun because I'm, you know, communicating with all these artists and we're putting on events. And then it's like in the beauty space, it's fun because it's like I have my own like blow bar that I like manage. And it's like there's just so many like fun things that I get to do. And, you know, I'm grateful to her too, because she gives me that, like, you know, she gives me room to explore, you know, what I want to do.
Right.
And it's like I'm so involved in all of her endeavors. It's not just like I'm, oh, you know, just doing scheduling or admin stuff. It's like, no, like I am a key part of like the infrastructure of them, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of EAs are just like strictly admin.
She wants you to grow into the person you're trying to
She
become.
does. She does. And you know, she's gotten me so many opportunities. Like this artist that I'm working with now, who's incredible, she introduced me, you know. My
Mhm.
other client that I've had with diversity and inclusion, she introduced me. Like she opens lots of doors. And she's just like she's the queen of Detroit, but also like she lives in LA half the time with her business partner, Sophia Bush. And it's just like she just knows everybody everywhere. She worked for Viacom and
Mm.
Warner Bros. And BET, and like she's a connector. Like that's like her. If she had a special power, it would be connecting.
That's incredible. I'm so happy for you. It's like the best to see you in such a good, I guess, situation for yourself and for what you want to create. And you said she gives you creative outlets. Like, do you feel like you really get that with your job too in different areas with like the music? Like, what is the artist residency?
So it's an artist residency program, and basically we give grants to artists every month, and it's a pay it forward program. So we have 10 artists, and then we give them $1,500 grants each, just to like make art. There's no strings attached or whatever, and then they recommend 10 artists. So then it's
Mm.
constantly recommending artists, just giving, you know, them money to create, because the artist, he had all of his success later in life, and, you know, now he's like, what can I do, you know, with this excess money? And he wanted to give it back into artists. And then we have a residency program. So I'm sure I've showed you like photos of what it looks like.
I think so. I think you were decorating it with the other Lily, right?
Yeah. And the artists, once out of the 10 artists, they can apply to the studio program. And that's where they get to learn from MacArthur at his studio, but also stay a month at a time at the residency program. So they get to, live there, all expenses paid. And it's a beautiful, beautiful space. And, they could just live there for a month and create art. We give you like all the utensils, anything that you need. And you just
That's so cool.
really get to learn from MacArthur, the artist, and then also get to like live there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and this is visual art?
Any art.
Any
So,
art.
any,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
which is
so
fun
cool.
because there's so many different mediums, and it's like fun to like learn about the different ones. Like we have,
Right.
you know, fine art, and then we have people who like make clothes, like fashion designers and stuff like that.
Mhm. That's so dope. So, okay, so you had a successful sweatshirt launch, which I'm actually wearing. Um, is there anything new coming from you in terms of like your own branding and stuff that we can look forward to?
The biggest problem is time, right? It's just
Mhm.
where do we find the time for all these things? Like it's important that we do, but it's like there's just so many things. Like if you look at my calendar, it's like crazy. I time block everything. And so it's like I would love to make more sweatshirts, sweatpants, t-shirts, all the things. It's just like finding the time.
Yeah. Do you want
But
to go down the beauty route at all either? Or like just products, or you want to stick with merch?
I've all merch probably for now, but I've always like I could see myself in 10 years like formulating, you know, makeup and like the sky's the limit, hair products,
Yeah.
I could see myself doing all of that. But right now I'd love to like start with merch. And I was very grateful that my sweatshirts were very successful and like I sold them out and I had to cut people off from ordering them and stuff, which was very exciting. But yeah, it's just finding time to do another launch.
It's gonna be, I can't wait. It did, like, I love this thing. I really do. And it was cool to see you succeed so much with something like a sweatshirt. Like, it was just, and it has such a positive message. It says, like, on the back, it says all bodies are normal bodies for people who can't see. And it's just such a good message on a sweatshirt. So I love wearing it. And I can't wait to see what comes out next with that. It'll be
Yeah,
so
and it was
fun.
such a fun project because I worked with Morgan, one of my best
Mm,
friends, and she is an incredible graphic designer. And it was just so fun because we were roommates in college freshman year and very, very close. And it was just so great because I've always seen her as an artist, and it was just so fun to like have a project that we got to work on together, like in our
right.
adult lives. And I'm she just knew she's just so good at what she does that I was able to like explain, just how we're sitting now, like what I need, what my vision is, and she put it literally on a sweatshirt. So I was so grateful for her.
She's incredible. She's like, it's really cool to see her grow into her art too, because she just did my website and I was like blown away.
Mhm.
I
She's
was like, whoa.
doing also the like wedding invites for my brother.
Oh, that's so cute.
They're like obsessed.
She's got an eye. So she's
Yeah.
the perfect person to have on that kind of project.
I'm just glad that like all of our friends are like, living in their truth, being able to do their art form, and like we're all just like freelancing. We're just like
I know.
we can't because Nia's my client. Like it's like I dictate like the hours. It's not like I am like working for anybody. It's like I work with them, which is nice.
Yes.
Like
That's
nobody.
such a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I love that. And
Mhm.
it like I can tell that you've had more of just peace of mind lately, which is
Mhm.
good because it's like you set that boundary. You were like, no, this is me, and I can't like be overworked.
Important to set boundaries with work. It's so important. It's
Hmm.
crazy.
So I like to always do a blend of worlds. So how do you think, how do you think marketing and your content creation, like, or I guess being an influencer in marketing, they obviously really sway each other, but how do you think your knowledge with marketing and your influencer knowledge has come together for your life?
Well, I would say I just like I know what to look for. Like I don't just like put things out there. Like I have a fine eye for these things, which is like things I've learned from Mia. Like just looking at little things like how, you know, colors blend together, like paying more attention to detail, like a lot of things I've learned from her. And but with marketing, I know how to create a campaign. So it's like I've done it for I used to like freelance doing social media management for so many different brands like
Mm-hmm.
right and whatever. And I've just like I know how to create a campaign, and I know like KPIs, and I know all these like CTA, the call to actions. Like I just know the process of like putting out content and promoting content. And it for so long was doing it for other people. So now it's like nice to do it for myself. Because I always tell people it's hard to like hire a social media manager and whatever, not debunking people who do that full time, but it it's hard because nobody's going to be as passionate about your brand and what you're doing than you. So
Right.
it's fun to do it for myself because it's like I know exactly what I'm looking for, and I know how passionate I am about what I'm talking about, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that like portrays.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. And I know that firsthand. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, it's better to do it myself too, because at the end of the day it is. Okay. And then since I am a musician, I always like to ask, what's on your playlist right now? What have you been listening to?
I'm actually so embarrassed because I've been listening to Taylor Swift. She remastered like her old album.
Uh-huh. Yes, I've heard about this.
Oh my God, I've been listening to it, and it just brings up so much nostalgia for me, especially like being like in my hometown and like
Mm,
love, sorry, I just love a good drive. Like
yes.
that's my favorite
Yes.
thing to like put a good album in, and like I just love her storytelling. Like I love being put through a story in a song. I feel like a lot of it now is like I don't know, like I haven't heard a lot of that, and you know maybe you could recommend some people, but it's just like I love being put through like a beginning, a middle, and an end.
She really is incredible. Like she deserves so much credit for that. And the fact that she was able to re-record her whole album from how long ago?
I know it was so. I don't even. Oh, I can't even think about it. It makes me feel so old. Like literally, me and Lily were watching the Twilight series, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm literally so old." Like it was 10 years ago.
We're at a weird age where we're still young, but we're old.
Yeah. Well, we're at an age too where, you know, when we were like 16, 14, I like to freaking mess braces. Like just
Mm,
now
mm.
16-year-olds have like lip injections and like they're looking like, you know, they're my age. It's like freaking crazy.
I went to a fair last week
Mhm.
and it was like so many 16, 17-year-olds trying to like just do it up. Like they had like booty shorts on, like they looked way too adult. And I was like, this is uncomfortable.
It's like just enjoy like being a kid for as long as you can. Like enjoy that like freaking Claire's era and like Limited 2 and the freaking Cami
Oh
Tanks.
my God. Well, I think just the way we feel like we have to get it together, I feel like they have that feeling as kids
I
now.
think social media now is way different from when we were that age. Like they have so much pressure, which I can sympathize with.
Yeah, I can't imagine feeling like I had to be Instagram famous by the time I was like 16. That's just crazy.
Like all these TikTokers who literally make like 8 figures from
Oh, just from
taking.
like, yeah, it's so crazy. Well, is there anything that you want people to go check out from you right now?
Definitely my YouTube page because I'm planning to post more. I do like basically vlogs, and if you ever wanted to know like what it's like in Detroit too, I feel like obviously there's like a lot of myths about it, and I can promise you I will debunk all them because Detroit is such a great place, especially if you're an artist. Like our art scene is insane. And yeah, check out my YouTube. Obviously I have the other socials, but if you wanted to like know who I am, definitely check out my YouTube.
What's your YouTube handle?
What is
I'll
my
put it. I'll put it in the. I'll put it in the notes too. But if you
Yeah,
can't
I
think of it
think
right
if you just like like type on the search bar Lillian Elliott, you'll see my page.
Perfect. Yay! Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
As always, thanks for listening to Matcha with Murad. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like, subscribe, review, or share this with your friends. Again, thanks for listening, and talk to you guys next week.